Hello friends, in this video we're going to discuss about the importance of staying safe from a particular infection. Today our world is suffering from covid-19, and in this video we're going to discuss about how important it is to stay safe and stop the transmission as much as it is possible. This is a graph that I have made by formulating some of the equations. Obviously these are some approximations, but over here I will just try to explain that how important it is. Now over here, the I naught bar that you can see over here, it's a slider, so I naught, right? So this I naught actually represents the rate of transmission, the actual rate of transmission, fine. And the C naught represents the percentage of the cured person. Now if a person gets infected, and the probability that the person will get cured is actually this one. Over here it is 0.59, so it actually means that it is about 59%, and 0.12 means about a 12%. Fine. Over here you can see that there are certain graphs which are marked with different colors, like the black one. The black one actually is nothing but it represents the number of people that are getting infected. And in this graph, the graph that is on the x-axis, the x-axis is showing actually the time, and the y-axis is showing the total population. The red one shows the current population, and the blue one shows the number of person getting cured. Over here the violet one actually shows the maximum holding capacity of the maximum population that can be sustained in a particular locality. The green one actually shows the limit. At that point we will get the antidote of the particular disease. And this particular orange one, this orange line over here is actually showing the limit of the cure that we can provide. The hospitals have limited resources, so actually this is the limit. Now we'll try to understand that how it actually varies. Now suppose we will try to provide the maximum cure possible. If the hospitals are free, then we can provide the maximum. So and actually we will try to provide the maximum cure that is possible. Now at this stage there are no infected persons, fine. So you can see that the blue line is actually tracing the x-axis, which means that there is no need of cure because the disease has not yet been broken out, fine. And over here the line you can see that is red, and the pink one that is showing the limit of the population. So you can see that the population is at its maximum limit. Now the transmission has begun. You can see something which is going, this particular equation I have given as it's not a logistic growth, but it's an exponential growth. So we can actually say that the exponential growth of the transmission can be shown like this. So you can see that if the transmission rate is 4%, it is actually an exponential growth. So we can see that up till the green mark, the exponential growth is actually equal to the curation, actually equal to the people that are getting cured. So the number of people actually getting infected are equal to the number of people getting cured. So the population doesn't matter. Where you can just see that this particular graph is actually the limit from 0 to 2.3, fine. So from this from the black mark to the green mark along the which is parallel to the y-axis, fine. Moving on. Now once this particular graph crosses the green line, you can see that it is actually crossing the green line. You can see there is a 2.155 and 1.1 is crossing the line. Now we know that the cure has limited resources. We can provide limited resources to the hospitals can provide limited resources. So we can say that the percentage of people getting cured decreases from 1. It is somewhat like this, approximately. So you can see that the population is dipping from the maximum. The population is decreasing. So you can see that the population is actually decreasing once the transmission is crossing the green line. Fine, because this is the particular reason that we can provide limited resources. Now, as we can provide limited resources, the mortality rate increases. You can see that once it was 100%, but the percentage of people getting cured is now 83%. Once it is 6% infection rate. Now, if we go on further increasing, we need to calculate that. So you can see that as we limit our resources, the population gets on dipping. Fine. So once it is about 10%, you can see that the mortality rate is about 49%. This is almost 50% of the people getting killed. So what can we do? We cannot actually create resources. We can create resources, but the resources are limited. We cannot exceed that limit. It's really difficult to exceed the limit. So what can we control? The transmission rate. The transmission rate as low as we can keep, the better it is for our health. So the better it is for humanity. So you can clearly understand that how important it is to control the transmission rate. So people can avoid social gatherings and other things. So if we can control this bar, that I0 bar, you can see that if we can only control this I0 bar, not the C0 bar. And the time period for the vaccination will take about 2.3 years. So that is quite a lot of time. So by then, the only thing that we can do is to limit our transmission rate. The cure is limited. You can see the population is actually dipping. The red line denotes the population. Fine. So you can see that how the population is decreasing once the transmission rate increases. But along with that, you can also see that once it is at a particular limit, our mortality rate also increases once the transmission rate increases. So you can also say that the mortality rate increases once the transmission increases. The mortality rate is directly proportional to the transmission rate because our resources are limited. So if you want to stay safe, stop being a part of the social gatherings, stop making crowds, and it is really important for us to stop this transmission. It is the only thing that we can have them now. The cures are limited. We can't do anything about that.